Hey, what's this? I'm Kate.
And who am I?
I'm Martin.
Okay. And we're talking about the state of the Canadian film industry.
And
I'm sorry?
Hello, hi, Raina. How are you? That's great. That's great. Martin's really going to be really pleased about that. Super. All right. Ready by next Thursday. Yeah, sure. No problem. No problem. Great. Yeah, thanks. Okay, right. Well, let's have lunch. Get the contract. Bye-bye. Let's call Martin now.
Hello, I'm Superman, and you're?
Wonder Woman. I will be back.
So please leave your name and number,
I just found out this go.
and we will call you. Have a good day from Wonder Woman, and goodbye from Wonder Woman, and Superman says goodbye, and leave your name and number. We'll call you.
Yes, this is Michael Lindley. You can call me at 533-3910. We get the money for the documentary. It's a go. So call me as soon as possible before Thursday, anyways, right? Okay, talk to you later.
1, 2.
Interviews, lots of interviews, and ditzy music. Al Waxman, let's get Al Waxman. The King, great idea.
Well, I've known Martin a long time, and I remember when I used to go to movies because it was a way to have a box of popcorn. He was going to movies when we were kids, in our 20s. He was going to movies and studying them. I mean, the first time I really met him, he had just seen The Bad and the Beautiful 3 times. I said, how could you see that 3 times? Of course, I saw The Jolson Story 27 times, but he had seen The Bad and the Beautiful 3 times and was studying it. Marty's the kind of guy that can discuss a shot from a given picture and discuss the significance of the shot and what preceded it and what follows it and why the director, why Orson Welles did this with Citizen Kane. Extremely knowledgeable about film.
Is it raining? Wait a second, it's raining. I hear an odd kind of like a noise like rain. Isn't that weird? I should be wet, and yet... Well, welcome. Go ahead.
When I first met Martin, was my first CBC job, and I was, I had a part where there were 3 lines, and I didn't know anything, like I didn't know anything. And I went in and I was really nervous, and it was a hospital shot, and I didn't even know enough to put on makeup. I went completely without makeup, and there was a big buzz around the set. People were saying he's behind time and all this kind of stuff, and there was this madman in a white coat with an ivory and ebony Mickey Mouse at his throat. And there was like confusion. Does he know what he's doing? Does he not know what he's doing? All this kind of stuff. And when I finally got to the scene, it turned out the scene didn't make any sense. And so it looked like the whole thing was going to get cut. And it was really, I was really disappointed. And amid that insanity of all these things happening on the spot, he saw me and I was there in my nurse's uniform, sort of going, oh no. He said, okay, no, we'll give you a close-up. It'll be like the 30s. And I don't know what's going on at all.
Well.
A vivid picture I have of Martin are these sort of eyes, the little hat that sort of comes down almost over his eyes with these sort of Annie Hall glasses and a little Mickey Mouse face that almost looks like his face. You know, it looks like a little replica around his neck, and that sort of a maniac expression in his eyes where it's almost like dangerous because you're not really sure what he's going to do next. He sort of pops around all the time.
You can move down. Mike? You're getting noise again? Okay, well, come on in. Don't be shy. Are you getting it now? Where is it? You still have it?
Okay, that's good.
So I have to keep it in that. Okay, you have to stay like in a direct line with that. Are you? Is he in the shot? He's under the shot, but now I'm looking on the ground. What happens if he lifts his head up and puts it next to the mat box? No, not up like, okay, get up. Now go over to where the mat box is. Right? Now go back. Now put your little face next to the mat box. Can you do that? No, you're too high.
Sometimes Martin is like this. Right, we're trying to figure out what the scene's about, and Martin's going, I don't know if these leaves are right. Oh, I don't know. We're over there going, Martin, the scene, what are we doing? He's going, is this the right kind of plant? I'd like to change this plant. Sometimes he's like that, which is wonderful, because I think that obsession with detail, and whether in Vienna in 1938, this would be the plant that would be in the window, that kind of thing adds so much spice and wealth to the visual image, which you must have for film. You just can't assume that they just have a plant.
Is he in frame now? No. But I'm not looking. I'm looking at him. I'm not looking into the lens, right?
No, Todd. Just keep going.
Oh, there,
Noise is gone? It'll kill the noise of the camera. Don't knock it. Is it?
That's good.
That's good now.
Yeah.
On War Brides, we were doing one very, very serious scene. And the actress, Elizabeth Richardson, she had to just listen to this letter which just came from England. And I was giggling. I couldn't stop giggling. And the camera is shaking, everything else. And she thought I was laughing at her. And it wasn't that at all. I was laughing at Martin.
What was he doing?
Well, Martin just looking at me. And he should be watching the actor. He's looking at me with his little funny little, you know how he does that sometimes with his little face like that? With Mickey Mouse on one side. And I'm saying, Martin, look over that side. Okay. And next thing we look back at the camera again, you know. So I just broke up. And I broke up, the whole crew broke up. Everybody was just laughing. Except poor actress. Because she was trying to be so serious about the whole thing.
Okay, one of the things that I did, the tricks that I had in it really is get people so involved in all of the technical aspects of it. I used to have the sound man come in and say, like, there'd be static. Can you hear static now? Hear static now. Come on and fix it. See, and when that happens, it's gone. Everybody gets involved in the process. Now you move over to the map. I said, and people would say to me, move over, I can't see your face. And I would say, I'm looking at it. And when that happens, suddenly they're so involved in the making of a movie, they don't care what they're talking about.
Well, he puts it on, eh? He puts it on in a way that disarms the actor or the subject of a documentary, in that he makes himself vulnerable. And in that vulnerability, he disarms the subject and draws them out so that the stories that the person has to say is drawn from something and somewhere deep inside that person. And what it does is create momentarily, spontaneously, an event which is totally unexpected and makes it a filmic event.
And then you throw in a couple of zinger questions.
What do you mean by that?
I don't quite understand the question, you know.
That's a question you'll have to ask Martin.
This is a microphone. It's one of the more, I guess, recent Japanese microphones that has built into it an entire sound system. So what looks to be archaic and stupid has built into it an entire recording unit. Isn't it incredible? It just looks like an old microphone with black tape around it, but it actually is a whole recording system. It also has a little TV set at the back, and you can drive it, which is what I like about it.
Yes, Martin is very funny. Martin is very witty, and it is a pleasure to be with him. So it always helps when the director is someone, I think, who has that kind of ability, when a joke can diffuse a situation, when a joke can illustrate a point, when the atmosphere is that of friendliness and of camaraderie. I think you get better films that way than you do the other way. The only film I've ever been connected with that I didn't like a great deal occurred when that situation wasn't in progress. So I think that's a vital thing. Not that you need a cross between Eisenstein and Chuckles the Clown to come on set, but you do need an ability to enjoy the situation, because what we do in filmmaking is an enjoyable experience. It's got its troubles, it's got its problems and its worries, but if you haven't got that enjoyment and sheer love of it, there's not much point in doing it, essentially, you know. Stay home and do something else.
I want to be in the picture.
You don't want to be in the... Sometimes they don't want to be in the picture. Then you have a problem, especially if their job was to hold the microphone. What?
Daddy, aren't to say cheese when it goes, okay?
It is going, jerko. Can't you hear it?
Cheese. That's what you say when people take a picture of you, right?
That's what you say.
Cheese.
Kate, what do you think of the state of the Canadian film business?
You also have to say cheese, Daddy.
Cheese.
Well, to my mind, he creates a sense of confusion and anarchy, which you know, which is sort of part of what people think of when they think of him. But I think that the reason he does that is that he hates the fascism of directing. He hates the sense that he's the boss and he's going to tell people what to do and they will do it. He wants, and it's a very complex mechanism. It doesn't always work, but with the right group of people, it really works. Almost like he makes them think, this poor guy, he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm going to have to come up with the ideas. We're going to have to save the guy's ass because, you know, it's a real problem. And he almost gives them all the, plays the fool, does everything he can to give them all kinds of rope, because what he really wants is the creative moment. He wants somebody to say, what about this? Or I've got an idea here, or to feel things through with the actors, or he wants all that input on every possible level. He wants it from the lighting guy, he wants it from the cameraman, he wants it from the designer, he wants all of that. And the more they think he's not in charge, the more they're likely to come up with their own ideas, and the less likely you are to get boring, straight footage, which more likely you are to get surprises.
Okay. Kate, I think I'm going to put you in the next interview.
Down.
Okay, ask me another question.
Poo-poo.
Yeah, he wants film. In my terms, he wants film. He doesn't want television. So instead of, I mean, basically, he's not interested in two-shot, close-up, 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 two-shot, wide-shot. He's not interested in that. He's interested in a frame and a visual, a look that doesn't manipulate, for me, doesn't manipulate its viewer as much. It sits longer. It has a bigger frame. And it allows the viewer to choose the focus. It allows the viewer to interact in and out of the frames. You notice some of the stuff in Charlie Grant, it just sits there for a long time, or then it tracks or whatever. And that has two advantages for me. A, it allows his DOP to spend more time doing much better lighting setup and moving the camera in a much more intelligent way, which adds to the visual richness of what's going on, and also so it speaks in a richer way visually, which is film for me, and it also treats its audience much more as much more intelligent beings. Instead of saying we have to manipulate our audience or we have to tell them what they should be doing, we'll leave it up to them how they choose to interact with something.
His concerns are about life in terms of the struggles to be alive, the effort to reflect on your own life, concerns about letting a person be.
Yeah, it's also the most expensive. So, as well, you know. And because it's so expensive, you have to work for other people. And very often you don't do exactly what... It's not the medium that you can work in and totally... You basically have to express yourself through other people's scenarios very often. Certainly if you do... You know, you're working and making a living at it. You're doing dramatic films or sponsored films or whatever. It's not the #1 movie country in the world.
A lot of people get very frustrated at the CBC because they've got their schedules and their producers and their expectations. And all of us who come into the CBC are freelancers. Most of the camera people, I'm not sure about the camera people, the directors, the actors, whatever. So Martin is freelance at CBC and he's running, his expectations run sometimes with the CBC expectations, sometimes across their expectations. As I said, he comes expecting a film quality and not a television quality. My point is there's a lot of people can take CBC for so long and then they go, I can't do it. And they have to say, I have to go outside where the air is fresh. I mean, CBC's got strengths and unstrengths. Martin somehow dealt with those problems in a way that I'd never seen before. In that, for me, he sort of, through his tangential, non-linear way of dealing with circumstances, would sort of shock them. And they would be in a state of shock, like, we're never going to get this film done. But he would be working the whole time and go around the end and get what he wanted in the end. And I really admired that because I think a lot of the quality of this one project I did with him came because he was able to persevere in his vision by that sort of route, not sort of running into the brick wall, but saying, sort of confusing the brick wall and then running around the end of it. I don't know if that's his method all the time, but that's what I thought I was seeing in Charlie Grant's War. I don't mean to say that CBC's a brick wall, they're not. But at times, there are problems. Canadian passion is very strange. We do have a passion, you see, and Martin has it. Martin shares it, and the passion is not American passion. It's not European passion. It's, for me, it's more linked to Scandinavian and Nordic passion. There's something. It's all there, but it's all sort of buried beneath the surface. And I think some of that's in Charlie Grant's War, which is also maybe why it was responded to so strongly by people up here.
Is that right? We're looking for a fellow named Martin Lavut. He's a Canadian director. Works for the CBC. Any idea? No? No? Okay. Maybe down here?
Well, he's pretty respectable now. Charlie Grant's War made him very respectable, more than respectable, applauded and all that. And when he does things and when he puts himself completely into them, people really like them. So that's not exactly dangerous. Also, people watch them, which is, you know, not dangerous either. That's good. So I don't think he's doing too bad on the respectability quotient. But if he gets too far, he'll do something to make that chaotic too, right? He wants to be respectable, but only in that that'll get him the job.
Rusty the Rooster, 5 minutes, please. Rusty, 5 minutes.
Yeah, Martin Lavut, he did War Brides, Charlie Grant's War for the CBC.
Yeah. I don't even have a crew in here at 2:30, and he's not part of the deal.
Oh. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
fellow named Martin Lavut. He's a director at the CBC.
Yeah, I don't think you'll find him here.
No?
No. Why would you be looking for Martin down here in Props?
That's a hunch. I don't know.
He likes to collect things.
Any idea? Yeah, he's a collector. He uses a lot. You've heard of war brides?
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
War Brides. What's this all about?
Charlie Grant's War?
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
What else?
For the CBC? Gee whiz.
Right, I'm not too clear on the story. It was someone who told me Martin's been discovered about 4 times in his career. And you go, well, what's that? Is that this country or is that Martin or what? But he's done good work for a long period of time. It's just been in these strange, sporadic gaps. And either it's Martin himself or it's this country and what we're up to that doesn't pick up on a man like that and use him to death, in a way. If he had shot Charlie Grant's War in Los Angeles, he would be up to here in films or television movies or something, but he would be shooting. Right now, he's sitting on his...
We'll be on in a minute. Jerome, to props.
Excuse me. You know where Martin Lavut might be? Where we could find him?
Martin Lavut, if I knew where he was, I'd send all the police, I'd send the RCMP, I'd send everybody, never let him near me!
So you worked with Martin before?
I've worked with Martin, yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? So he's what's he like to work with?
One of the greatest.
One of the greatest? The greatest?
More fun than anybody I've ever worked with, really.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Why?
He's flexible, adaptable, bends to situations, and when you're need something for a show and you can discuss it with him and it works out. I enjoyed working with Martin very much. But other than that, because he's crazy as a bag of hammers, no. Mickey's all right.
Okay.
No, I mean, but I think he's done a great deal and sacrificed a certain amount to maintain his non-normal mind. I mean, most people can contain that if they choose, and he's deliberately chosen not to. You know, and he's one of there's a terrible syndrome of the normal that happens to creative types here, and he's quite consciously fought that. There's a spark left in him, more than left in him, that's been tended. He's consciously tended that spark in an atmosphere that usually puts it out by degrees of a mediocre success level or being able to make a living at it or whatever. And, you know, he's one of the few around that have it. And in that way, you know, to say he's not normal, no, he's an extreme personality, like he should be. You know, like anyone should be who's going to try and do the insane things, an insane thing like doing a television thing.
We're looking for a man named Martin Lavut. Do you have any idea where he is? No?
No idea.
No idea?
I think you best get to the main
Yeah.
reception and ask them, they'll inform you.
Is that right? Okay, that's fair enough.
Where are you guys from?
CBC.
You see, you got identification? Can I see it, please?
Okay. Heard the series Canadian Reflections?
Yeah.
Yeah. What
That doesn't mean a thing to me. You're freelance, aren't you?
That's right.
You shouldn't be doing that in here.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Who authorized you to come in here to do this?
We thought it would be okay. We're just trying to find the fella.
Shouldn't do that.
Shouldn't do it? Okay, we'll leave. I guess.
But, you know, you got to get authorization. I can't give you the authorization. Okay?
Is that right?
Security checkpoint right there in front.
Okay. Who do we ask for there?
You get there,
Okay.
they'll inform you.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay.
Hi, Martin. How are you? Good. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to switch the service on. Yeah. Yeah, no, 5 minutes is great. That's no problem. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you then.
Kate is a superb cameraman, a wonderful dynamite producer, and a scenario writer par excellence. She can also sing. Do you want to do Hokey Pokey? Because I think this could be the...
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Kate Lavut is going to do the Hokey Pokey vote.
Now you also help.
I'll sing it with you. You put your right foot in.
No! Don't put me away.